Where was it?
Get off the
Stage. So that's our current introduction. And welcome to Off the Stage, the show where we bring musicians off the stage and into the pub to talk about the ins and outs of the music world.
I missed the introduction where Mass Production swore at it.
I know, but we're gonna make that again. We're gonna be like, yeah, because we're told at Mass Production that you could only have one C word, like what we told you, and they saved it at the very last minute. They said, "Everyone listen to Off the Stage podcast, you dude." It was just the perfect introduction. We will get that back on, but we're just in the limbo period of being what's it called, soundtrackless.
You're very easy to get distracted, aren't you? This is James Berry, I'm Conor Michael.
Oh yeah, shit. I some things on, right.
And with us are the Neolectrics. So,
in the distance.
So welcome guys. The first and most important question is, what are you drinking?
Ooh.
We're all on Landry apart from Joe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the odd one, the black shake.
I've got, what have I got? Raspberry and pineapple old malt.
It looks like wine.
It does. It doesn't really
No,
actually.
it's fancy as that though.
In a
That
nice wine glass.
it looks like white wine in a pint glass.
Yeah,
It's classic.
yeah, I was
Unreal.
thinking
Thought it was a clear
I
rosé,
kind
to
of
be honest.
drink.
Yeah. I'm just born with the lemonade today, but I've got a gig after this, and I don't drink when I've got the loop pedal, but I don't mind if I'm just doing an acoustic gig.
it seems hard to manage anyway. You know, I couldn't imagine if you were drunk at the same time.
Yeah.
It would definitely be an interesting, unique sound.
I like the fact that my priorities are I don't drink when I've got the loop pedal, but the car I can have one or two.
English way.
Don't even know what I've got. You
I can't remember what it
bought
is.
So it's like
Recommended by Julia downstairs.
It looks horrible.
Julie-
Not gonna lie.
it's
IPAs.
It's like a craft beer.
I hope it's not like a
It looks
6-7%
It's
kind.
like a left-handed giant beer.
Dehydrated.
One of them was 7.8%.
It looks
I'm sure this is only
Next time I go downstairs, I'll ask Julie. I'm like, oh yes.
Can I have another one on
Can I have another one? Yeah. Can I have another one or not? It's quite nice though. It's like a bit of fruit to it. Yeah. Everything's fruity or
Same here.
tart.
Oh, yeah.
So, who are you? This is the bit where we're going to get you to like introduce yourselves, what you do in the band, what genre the band is.
Right, left.
Whichever way you want. Fight.
Go on, Adam.
Should I start?
Lay the
Go
chance.
on.
Yeah,
Right,
go
well,
on.
I'm Adam. I play the drums and I've designed all the logos and the posters and stuff for the band. Do you want to go next?
Yeah. I'm Charlie. I sing, and the band I would describe as kind of like indie rock type thing. I've wrote the lyrics for most of the songs, and then like a couple of me and James have wrote together. But yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm James. I'm the lead guitarist. I do the marketing as well.
Yeah.
So you know, and
Separate-
I book most of the gigs. I write the riffs for most of the songs. Write the lyrics for some of them. Work together with Charlie on some of them as well. Do a bit of everything. Jack of all trades.
It's good, eh?
I'm Luke, I'm the rhythm guitarist. That's about it. Really.
Need to up your game, Luke.
I'm here for moral support.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm Ed, I'm the bass maestro, I'm the life of the party as well, I'd say.
Yeah.
So that's about it for me
That's
as
what they
well.
say about bass players, isn't it?
Yeah,
The happiest one on
absolutely,
stage.
Bass.
Yeah.
He does. If you catch him off guard, James, you see the jaws out there.
This is now better than the bass player getting right into the zone.
Yeah.
Just kind of
The bass face.
yeah, the bass face.
Yeah.
You know, that's the most like response to that we've had from a band. Most people go, I'm the drummer, I'm the guitarist. But so, how did you guys decide who was going to do like individual, say, marketing or like design kind of stuff? Or was it just?
Well, I sort of put the band together, sort of like.
Yeah,
You reached out with design and like marketing. He's already had like history with that anyway. So it's kind of like,
Well, as you know, with
I had
it,
Photoshop on a computer and design a logo.
you got more than we did.
we've recently
Download
acquired.
Canva.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
We've recently acquired a manager as well, so he's helping with a lot of stuff.
Keep going.
He's now designing a lot of the stuff and helping us book gigs and
Set up social media posts and
yeah,
stuff.
because like as you know, when you're in a band, you're working on everything as well
Yeah, it is, it's like-
as well as your music, you know, and it's a lot to handle. So it's great that we've got a manager now. You know, it really does help.
It's especially helping in
shout out to Dan,
pushing social media because it's such a big thing that you need to push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting your name out there on social media is difficult.
It's half the battle.
Yeah,
you know,
that's it.
It really is half
It's-
the battle nowadays. Is social media presence.
The thing is with social media as well, because everybody's on it. It's a battlefield,
Oh,
isn't it? It's
yeah.
like
So
so.
many people,
Yeah.
It's just like an ocean, really.
Yeah.
You got to find ways to be unique as well, because everyone's doing the same stuff. We're putting a post out saying, "Oh, we've got a gig, you know, in a week or however long a song's coming out." It's about finding unique ways to push.
Yeah,
So you know, we're really working on TikTok now. That's where
this is why we kind of do the podcast, because it gives you something to say, like, oh, look at
yeah.
us,
Yeah,
we're on this
something
side.
to share, really, isn't it?
Something else for like you get a full week's worth of entertainment of little clips.
I know.
Oh
Do
yeah,
it,
it's going to be great. We're going to be milking this film.
We hope so. We're toying with doing like a little award thing for who gets the most views after like the year of doing the podcast.
That's a good
brilliant.
I
idea.
think at the minute Mass Production are up there.
Yeah.
Mass Production. Have we played with them before? I feel like I've heard of them.
No, I know Joseph from us.
Oh, is that it?
Oh,
Yeah, I recognise the name. I think we'll follow each other on Instagram,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
You drop your drink there.
Just a little bit.
Sure, nobody's.
I didn't notice. It's
He's
fine.
going to be covered.
It's going to be the clip though. So your single, "Get What I Want." What do you want? Like,
For everybody to listen to it?
Yeah. World domination.
Yeah.
We want world domination. Really, that is mostly it.
That's all
you
we
know.
want.
Eventually, we'll get like an island and you know an army.
Yeah, it's
What's
kind
an
of like
island.
territory that we don't want to be
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, I was going to maybe not.
Yeah, something like that, and running back. You know, that'll be us deserting the island, running back to England because we obviously don't know how to run a country.
nobody does.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh no, it got political. Oh.
Only 10
We're
minutes
only,
in.
yeah, not even that. No, we're just like, I think this year we're aiming to try and do like more gigs in different cities, try and branch out a bit more, like we've just said, kind of like big up the social media and just kind of like get ourselves out there more, because we've done like a lot of gigs in Sunderland, which is great. Obviously it's nice to be
We
like
played indie.
Yeah.
Recently. That was amazing.
indie
was
and-
really good.
Yeah.
I got a
Fab.
jetpack and went into the ground.
And running back, that's doing great on all platforms.
Yeah.
Get What I Want is still doing great. You know, we're just, you know, as I said, doing great.
Yeah. It's just some of these future podcasts.
Yeah.
What more could you want?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's all about building momentum, isn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I think especially like with support and stuff, like you always look for more support as well. So
Yeah.
you can connect with that band, maybe get that audience over as
yeah,
well.
I would say it's the best way of getting people to listen to your music, because it's you can post on Instagram or Facebook or whatever you want till the cows come home, or click this link. People are like, oh, I don't really want
No
to click
one
that
wants
link.
to click
I'm
the
too
link.
lazy. I don't want to click that
No
link.
one.
But if you've got a bunch of people who've paid tickets to go see another band, and then they're in the same room, and then you show them the song, like listen to us. It's much
Yeah.
easier, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
Live's always better than social media.
absolutely.
Because it's easy for someone to just scroll down and just go,
Yeah, because
So
again,
easy to
they'll
share,
pass another band who's paid like £2,000 to like advertise the Facebook
Yeah.
thing, and they get like
Yeah, it's, you know.
it's a cruel game, isn't it?
It's-
Yeah. So was it you two that wrote that song?
Well,
just-
Get What I Want, I actually wrote the riff in mine, Ed and Luke's previous band. And this was the one I was singing in, and I couldn't really get like a vocal melody, you know, so I sort of put it on the back burner.
Yeah.
And I think it was one of the first songs that
Yeah,
we
it
wrote
was.
as a band, and I just started playing it, and obviously Charlie came up with the lyrics.
Yeah, that see the We Are Right songs, essentially, I'll like they'll start playing a riff or something, and then I just kind of like write. I don't have like a theme in mind necessarily. I'll just kind of like have a like melody, and then from there within like 10 minutes I've wrote a whole song.
Yeah.
And
It's a good little
Yeah.
therapy session. It gets everything off your brain.
It
and
is,
I've got
yeah.
lyrics
Like,
as well.
that's the thing, people will ask like, oh, so what did you write that song about? And I honestly have to sit and think for a second, like, what did I write that song about?
Yeah.
Like,
You have to
I do,
update with
yeah,
it.
I do
yeah.
that. It's just because you just say random words. And
yeah,
oh,
and
that
then
makes sense.
it actually
It's
like becomes a thing, and I'm like, how did I do that? I didn't realise I was doing that.
it always
but-
reminds you know, you ever watch South Park?
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
Lord
I love
episode
it.
where he's like, taking the trash out on Wednesday. That's my
Nobody
writing
knows.
present. It's like,
Really.
I was actually watching that episode. It's very well.
taking the trash out on Wednesday. Puts the auto tune on and stuff.
When he's on the toilet.
Yeah.
Scott was saying that's his favourite episode of South Park. It's that one, and it's the bit where obviously his son finds out that he's Lord.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, no, but you can't be Lord. And he goes, no, I am. This is it. And he goes, no, but Lord's music's really good. He goes, thanks.
And then he shows him how he makes it. Like,
So you just had the little beat, you just put the auto tune on. And then,
Lord.
it's actually, do you know it's actually it was Sia who actually wrote, like, sung that song in South Park in the show.
That's a fun fact.
That is a very fun fact.
That's all you know.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, so obviously asking what the song's about, we went through that's a bit more complex. Trying to follow the lyrics of that song, because I listened to it quite a bit, to be fair.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Yeah. Every stream counts.
How do you not mess up the words? Because I'm not going to recite them correctly, but it's something like, you get what I want what you need what I have.
Yeah, like,
and it's like, it's a lot to follow.
Yeah, so it's like, what
She
even
just
is it?
guesses.
Get what
Just
I
makes it one
want,
stage.
get what you want what I get, but I have what you got. So
Yeah.
And that's
I
for
don't know.
free. That's
I
for
think
free.
it's
Yeah. Streaming. But I don't know, I think again I was just kind of like writing, and when I was writing it down I was like, this isn't going to make sense, but I'll see what it sounds like, and then we just played it, and I think even they were like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know.
Made a career out of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
think like when
catchy.
you've got like the rest of the instruments and that anyway, you'll keep on beat regardless.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Just over time, like you'll just get it like a through muscle memory.
Exactly, and there's not that many lyrics, so
Yeah,
even
there's
though
probably about 20.
It's enough to
they're,
keep
they're very similar as well, and I feel like pretty much everyone needs one song that's like that,
Yeah,
because
catchy.
then if someone's trying to think of like, oh, like who's that band again, and they're like, oh yeah, they've got
Get
that song
what
that says
you
yeah,
want.
get what I want,
It's
like-
because that's
it's
pretty much
pretty
all I
catchy.
It's a
say.
signature song.
Yeah.
It's an easy one to remember. So you might not know the whole words. Like you might get the words mixed up, but you'll know it's to get what you want.
You can
and I
pretty
want
much
what I
say
get, and
get what I want through the whole thing, and it won't sound bad. So if people are trying to sing to it, it'll sound like, oh yes, they know that song, but
Yeah.
they just say the same words.
You actually know 5 words.
Yeah, which
Still
is
works, like-
most of
That's
them.
20% of the lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you're doing great.
Yeah.
A couple of me other mates were actually saying hopefully there's more lyrics in the next one.
Fingers crossed. But you don't need them all lyrics, because I don't think I'd heard of you guys before we did that gig together for Bodacious. But after seeing you live there, that was a song that stuck with us. And that's the one I listened
That
to.
was a great gig as well.
It was
Yeah,
really,
really
really
good.
good.
It was so good that day.
You did fantastic as well.
So you guys?
Everyone that we brought on loved you.
Yeah.
It's a bit too much. I was getting a bit jealous.
I would have brought my own crowd, but you sold it out before I got a chance. I've got more questions on that in part 3. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, before we call part 1 an end, where do you guys do your recordings? How do you?
So we're Motorhouse as well.
Motorhouse.
We'll do it.
It's Jordan in it.
Yeah.
Jordan Miller is
Great guy.
Absolutely
sick.
fantastic. Yeah.
Really talented.
He does the sound independent as well, and you know when we're going to go record our first track, Get What I Want, we're asking about seeing where other people get their stuff done, and it was basically a mix up between the Bunker and Jordan Miller at Motorhouse.
Get Jordan like
We wanted a place because the Bunker does a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know, it's sort of jack of all trades. You know, you can practice there, you can play a gig there, you can record there. But
We're there on the 1st of April, guys. Me and James get tickets.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cheeky.
And so we essentially just wanted a place where all the focus
It's like
on is
devoted.
recording and mixing.
Yeah.
And Jordan Miller, he's so many people suggested him.
He's one of the.
He's been doing it for a while.
He's first started getting into music in the scene the same time as me.
Yeah.
Makes me feel old.
Well, he actually.
Real Davina is with his first band that I recognise.
I'm sure he taught.
He
didn't
did,
teach
yeah,
you
actually,
when you were a kid?
I think it was like about year 10 or something when I was in school. I had like a first band while it wasn't very good, but like we had a song, and me and one of my mates in school, we actually went there, and that's how I met him. And then when we got together and went to record Get What I Want, I was like, was I here? Yeah, a couple of years. Yeah, I'm sure you were. It's crazy.
No connections in it.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, he drinks here a lot. He's probably downstairs now. Actually, we should see if we can
Oh
get
yeah, I've seen him in here a few times.
Yeah.
Well, since we're a new band as well, when we went there for the first time, we kind of just like recorded the song as we wanted, but the second time we're like had real more time, so we're like we gave him a lot more like control, and since we're new,
Yeah,
it like
you gotta-
really helped us put the
you
song
can-
together.
you really-
Yeah.
He knows
If
what
you've got
he's
a good
doing.
producer, you can,
Yeah.
Because obviously he
trust
doesn't
him.
want to overstep his boundaries, you know, he doesn't want to
Yeah.
say shit like, you know, but we encourage him to suggest, you know,
He
if
knows
he thinks
what-
this
yeah.
should be slightly
Yeah.
changed, like,
He literally, like, at the end of the day, he literally used to teach the subject as well.
Yeah.
yeah, like running back, when we recorded that, there, like, it was a lot different from when we recorded Get What I Want. It had a lot more input and there was a lot more changes. There was like a version 1 of the song. Obviously, you go through a few revisions anyway,
Yeah.
but the song like sort of changed a lot between version
It's
1
like
and
months
version 2.
between when we
Yeah.
made
Yeah.
the songs as well.
Yeah,
We kind of went in like all guns blazing, like this is how we play it live, like this is what we're
Yeah.
gonna do, because like they said, like the first song we went in, Get What I Want's it's pretty simple song, you just kind of play it
You
and
can
that's
see,
what it
like,
is.
the tune,
But yeah, but in with Running Back, obviously getting our last like revision of it and stuff, he was like, would you mind if like we took this out, see what that sounds like, or like if we like lower the guitars here and blah blah blah, and essentially it's come out sounding so much better than what we would have gone in and done
Yeah.
ourselves, so
yeah.
very
well,
helpful.
There's a reason he runs his own recording.
Yeah.
Like, he clearly, you know,
Yeah.
he can play all of our instruments better than we can. You know, he could just be doing a band on his own.
Yeah.
To be
He
honest.
can
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's actually, you know, we're sucking up to him, but he is actually a really.
We'll have to, I'll make this a clip and I'll tag him in it.
Right,
I'll be
Jordan,
like,
if you don't share this, we're not coming back.
I'll say hi. You're welcome on the podcast anytime,
Yeah,
Jordan.
get him on. Get him on.
Cool. We'll call that part 1.
Of course.
Make sure you save all these recordings because I'm not doing that again. And we'll
Has that happened before?
no, but there's always a first.
Oh, sure.
There was the first ever podcast. The camera just didn't turn on. That was
Okay, it's an audio.
the audio only.
Bless
But
them.
but you know, we live and learn, don't we? Just trial by error. That's my life. But anyway, do we? Yep, we'll do. Hang on, let's see.
Join you.
Right, we'll see you in part 2. Hang on, which one is it?
Oh, James, you got this. It's only 39 episodes.
I know, that's fucking useless, honestly.
Yeah, originally we were just going to do like Spotify's and stuff. And then...
Oh yeah.
Hang on. We're back, baby! Thank you, Dan. Welcome back to side
If you
2.
guys ever want to record your own like soundboard for it, you know.
Oh yeah.
If you've got your best bit, we'll clip it out and we'll chuck it in.
That was Dan Gray who did that one. We just asked
Yeah.
him to do all because he's got like a really high pitched voice and stuff.
Oh, bless him.
Yeah.
So we're always trying to get people to do their own because you know it's not going to be copyrighted. You see when it's our
Well,
Well,
own.
it depends who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had the Priters are the ones that do the applause.
Yeah.
We've got Ollie Mers does the goodbye at the end. It's not even a joke.
Yeah.
Class.
Yeah. But yeah, so part 2, it's normally like daft gig stories or like musician questions. I couldn't find any good ones to put in today.
Oh, hang on. Yeah.
But before you get to that, James,
Come on, James.
So we'll just-
what's the first song that you ever saw live and cried to? Whether it's just like a small tear or a full waterworks.
I am not that emotional.
Need to write better songs.
I bottle every bit of emotion up deep down. No, I don't. I honestly, actually,
Yeah,
you
I had
know
one
what,
that's just hit you where you're like, ooh.
That's a funny. Yeah. So I went to see Sticky Fingers. It's this Australian band. Went to see them in Glasgow. And actually, I cried at one of their songs, and that was probably like a month and a half ago now.
Yeah.
Something like that. And so that was the first time actually for
Yeah,
me. I've never cried before that.
What was the song called?
What was the song called? What was the song called? I can't remember what the song called.
It was
Truly-
so good.
Just on me,
Yeah,
Hit 'em hard.
I've really blocked out the memory. I would never cry again.
So hard, you can tell it. I went to like see Mac DeMarco a couple of years ago, but I never cried. But like it was, he played like This Old Dog, and that was like that's like one of his more emotional songs and
Yeah.
everything. But it was like, oh, you know what I mean. But it wasn't like crying in the eyes of it.
Two goals, probably the
Yeah,
closest
it was only a
I've been,
single
like,
tear for me as well.
I don't think I've ever cried at a live gig.
Oh Christ, we got some manly men in tonight.
I've been like emotionally like well in my feels as I were. I went to see Bring Me the Horizon in Sheffield, and they played an acoustic version of Follow You, and just seeing everyone around us being all friendly with each other, such a nice environment to be in, because it was calm. And obviously they're a metal band, so everyone was mosh pitting and that. That song came on and everyone calmed down and were
chill.
hugging each other and like
They
people
were
were crying.
It's like a
each other.
community kind of thing.
Really?
Such a lovely environment to be in.
Lush.
Wow.
For
Yeah.
me, probably
You got an answer.
Yeah.
No one else does.
I know. The first gig concert I went to, it was probably, I went to the Script because I was obsessed with them when I was younger.
The Script are my answer, by the way.
Absolutely, I love them.
Not a joke.
Really, honestly, it was like the best thing I'd ever seen. Like, I was right at the time I was like 14, 15. And I'd been obsessed with them like all the way through school when everyone was like obsessed with One Direction and stuff. I was like, I love the Script. But
you were the edgy one.
Yeah, I had to be
Script are lush though.
No, honestly, I still love them. But I'd got tickets for Christmas, and I remember crying when I got the tickets. And then I was right at the very front, and I remember when they came on, Danny like grabbed my hand as well. And I got a pic off them, I got a signed like
my Instagram
plectrum.
post once.
Really? Oh my god. But he was sat on the edge of the stage, like literally like this, like 2 meters away from it. 2 meters, 2 feet, whatever. Anyway, I'm not good with measurements. I'm a musician, not a mathematician. But
Not a mathematician.
but he sang The Man That Can't Be Moved, and I just cried my eyes out.
Oh, yeah.
Like honestly screamed.
I probably cried like live.
It was so good. Really, really good.
You cried live?
Not cried, but I got really emotional when I went to Leeds Two Door because like I'd been listening to Two Door since like 2012 or something. So it's like a song, Are We Ready? And I was just like, when he got like the chorus part, I was just like, I've finally seen it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Been listening to it for like 8 years or something, and I just finally got to see it live. So I was emotional. I didn't quite cry, but.
Well, I'll be the first guy to say I cried at a gig then, Chris.
Go on then.
It was when I went to see the Script, and it was
2 Scripts, bloody hell.
tell you
There's
what.
singing in this band, isn't
so
it?
it's a good band.
Really,
This is the
really.
advertisement for the Script.
Yeah.
Come on stage, guys. Go up on the podcast.
Please get me on as well if that's the case.
It was the song. I was listening to it today as well.
Say
Go on.
it happens. It happens.
I know.
Don't look at me.
If you could see me now,
That was the other one.
and
I
it's
cried
like you
out
just
that
as soon as
one
you
well.
hear the emotion, you're like,
Yeah.
it's a tough one.
Every single time I hear that song, I still get like emotional. I love
It's
it.
like a proper. It still gives you like the kind of goosebump feels
Yeah,
to
because
it.
it's about his parents, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like how they've passed on,
yeah,
but he
passed
hopes that
away.
they're proud that he's doing
I
all these
know.
gigs. And you're like,
melts me heart. I love
Yeah.
it. So good.
I've never it's not.
there's a little
I've choked up at it. No, it hasn't even been at a live gig. It was just I was listening.
You were
at,
just in your room.
I
Crying.
lie.
No music, no noise.
It's like
Crying.
that's Friday night for me. It's,
To be fair, I've definitely cried at songs, but I just haven't cried live. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I
like yeah.
songs,
So
yeah.
it's
We'll
so
call back. That song was Hurricane, by the way. It finally came to me. Actually, no, I take that back. Cyclone. I've got it wrong.
the song, and honestly, I've listened to it like 200 times, and every single time I choke up. It's always the same bit as well. It's a song called Elephant by Jason Isbell. You ever heard it? It's about a guy who goes out with a girl who gets cancer, and it's like, honest to God.
Yeah.
But there's just a line that me back's shivering at the moment. But there's a line he says towards the end. It's like, it's one thing that's clear to me: no one dies with dignity. It's like, but it's just it's like, oh my God.
It's gonna make you cry.
I
now,
listen
isn't
to
it?
it all the time.
Love tough lyrics like that.
There was another song that was like wasn't like choked up at, but I was like it was a Ryan Adams song. I was watching him. It was technically live, but it was on the telly, so I didn't actually see him live.
Yeah,
but,
it was like that. Yeah.
but he was playing just him on a seat. Well, it's like a stool, just singing his guitar. And he's got like such a like. I think it's an angelic voice anyway. I think he's like flipping mint, and I was just like engrossed in this. He had like a certain like energy around him, and I was like, this is like flipping amazing. Then a moth flew in my face. Like, it's like,
And you had to wipe the tear away.
yeah. Like, it just flew. I was like, what the fuck's going on here? And anyway, I spent the rest of the night trying to hunt down that moth because it was like I was thinking this is like a brilliant moment. Like it was just a memorable moment. I was thinking I'm so engrossed in this song, and this moth just fucking ruins it. I'm like, right, I'm gonna end you tonight, you fucking twat.
Did you capture the moth or not?
I did not actually.
No.
It was a big
goal there.
It was a fucking big moth and all. Like I was just like,
Larger than average.
That's the
I would.
What would you say the average size moth is?
That's like a villain origin story.
yeah, I know it is.
Mothman. Every good comic book starts with I was crying at a Ryder Adams song on telly. And then boom!
It was a moth.
That's how I became Mothman.
Oh, that was a good segment out.
Yeah, that was good.
That's
You heard I Wasn't Expecting That by Jamie Lawson.
Yeah.
That's another song similar to
Yeah. I like that song as well because there's a bit of it where he chuckles. I was like, I wasn't expecting that. So yeah. So anyway,
There's
a
a good
love
one
song.
by Paul McCartney called Junk. It's not like really like cry, but it's like a bit. It's really emotional. And it's like 50 seconds, and it's just like that's insane. Just how good it is.
It's only 50
It's like,
seconds
really
long.
it's like 55 seconds or something.
That's all you need, isn't it?
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's these days. It's like 30 seconds. If you don't have the first verse and chorus in the first 30 seconds, people are just skipping you on Spotify.
Everyone's got TikTok brain nowadays.
That's it.
Yeah, there's a Bo Burnham song like that. Have you seen it? Like it's called Repeat Stuff. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's
I like
literally just about type of Justin Bieber type poppy type stuff where like just pander towards like 100 little girls and just be like you are this blah blah, and it's just like it obviously comes to nothing, but it's just to get you money type of thing.
Yeah. That's what they all are, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Have you ever performed a song live that you started choking yourself?
When we're playing Brand New Day, when we're because when I wrote it with like Charlie's voice in mind, and then when we actually played it and everyone loved it because everyone started doing the hand thing as well. I was like,
Gets you a bit,
and because most of our songs are like really distorted, in your face, and that's the only one where
It's like you're getting that recognition, really. Isn't it?
and the fact that everyone was sort of feeling what we felt when we made it, it proper choked us up on stage.
Just the first like gig that we done, like the like crowd reaction was
like you could
much
hear a
more than
pin
I ever
drop
expected,
and-
to be
Yeah,
fair.
that's cool.
Yeah, it was really good.
That's lush, that.
Yeah.
It's like moments to remember forever, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like,
Exactly. That's exactly
That was
it,
again
yeah.
another one where like James was just kind of like strumming his like riff, like I wrote this, like I don't know whether it's kind of like it fits the vibe because like you say, a lot of our stuff's quite heavy. And then again, I just kind of started like humming along to it, and then like typing in my notes, like I've got some lyrics.
It's got a great message to it
I
as
think
well.
even before we ever played that live, just the first time we played that fully, all the way through with all of our parts, that was like, whoa, that's
That is a good
We
song.
finished the song went.
That was
Where did that come from?
so good.
Yeah, that was actually great.
It's your dad's favourite song, isn't it?
Aye, shout out Mr. Michael Critchlow himself. He absolutely loves that song. He's probably our biggest fan.
He is, bless him.
God, no, man, Michael Crichton.
No doubt he'll be watching this, so you alright, Dad?
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Yeah, I don't think he knows how to.
Oh, you show him how to do
I'll
it.
show him how to. Yeah.
You ever cried at one of your own songs?
Well, I mean, my song's about like fucking pencils and shit like that.
You have a depressing pencil.
But no, actually, no, I did choke up at one point with I did sing an incredibly emotional "Sink the Ship" once, and but yeah,
I like that
that's about it really.
Mine is it's a song called Flowers on a Bridge, and it's so heartbreaking that I'm not allowed to put it in my tour show.
That one that you played at the last gig, we were all at when you were saying about going through a breakup and everything. It was always about. I think you said it was about people being like in a couple and not wanting to be together or something anymore.
Which one's that? That's like 19, isn't it?
Yeah, that's you did an entire album.
Yeah. Call Me One Last Time, I think.
I think
It's that kind of like.
Yeah.
I was like that.
That was
That
so
one was
good.
like, wow, it's like
Oh, yeah?
very emotional. Like, yeah.
I think my current most emotional one is the Alone, but that's because I put like loads of shit on the loop pedal. And it would have sounded great the night you heard it, but there was an issue with the DI box that every time I got closer it went.
Powered through it.
I know.
You've got to work through stuff like that with local gigs.
That's
You're
live,
always
innit?
prepare for something to go
Absolutely.
wrong. Like we've obviously have snapped a string before.
That was really funny,
We've
that.
had mics cut out.
The drum pedal snapped.
Yeah.
I played begging before and hit the wrong chord. And
That was
obviously
it's the first like thing you play.
It was so jarring.
I was like, afterwards, I was like,
If it
so
helps,
sorry.
my record is snapping 8 strings in one gig. It's great. There's 6 on the guitar.
The must have thought, is this a bit?
I think the 8 string went 3 times. We run out of packs.
The neck just falls off.
I've got to the point where I've run out of D strings and I've had to put a G string on it and just not tune it as trigger. I was like, oh, D for
At what
now.
point do you give up? what point do you like,
All right, Mum.
maybe I should
Should just go back to an office and work at PayPal. All right.
There's definitely a story there.
tell a lie actually. Talking about the crying thing. I didn't cry myself, but I made my granddad cry.
I've done that.
That's a sad
In
story,
your
James.
context with music.
Well,
Did you punch him in the face?
no, I didn't. Love you, granddad. No, well, it was my nana's funeral, and I
I
played.
apologise.
That must have been like, obviously not with the context of what was happening, but just saying that must have been like at least fulfilling in some way.
Yeah, well, it was we were just at the wake, and I had a bit too many whiskies, and I had a guitar at hand, so I played one of my songs called White Skies, which is about someone dying and not quite understanding the concept of death and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was the last line. You got to listen to the whole song to get the reference and stuff, but it's about saying like, oh yeah, that. It's like, oh, heaven's great, you know, you're being really well, but it's like, well, because you're not there, it's not, is it? Yeah.
Oh,
and
that's class. That's
Beautiful.
It's
Absolutely beautiful.
that actually won as a singer-songwriter competition.
Well done.
I won a guitar. That I needed because it was a point where like I was absolutely skint, and the guitar that I had was basically gaffer taped to the point where it was nearly breaking.
That's mine.
And this singer-songwriter competition was in Gateshead College. The thing was a guitar. I was like, I need to win this, otherwise I'm fucked.
Yeah.
And luckily I won it. But anyway,
That was a
just
lovely
I
end to
felt
part two.
I've got to just ask James.
You
if
chuck
he's-
that in?
Yeah. It's so I usually scowl the internet, Reddit. That is the cesspit of r/musicians specifically, and people ask for advice or they've got dilemmas and they want other musicians to comment and kind of give them a bit of advice. So I thought,
Don't ask us.
yeah, well, we're gonna.
They don't, we just tell them the answers.
But this one particularly, it's from a guy called, I don't know, brighten my screen because I can't see like I used to be able to. Taylord321, that's the username.
Taylord.
And his question is,
Bow down.
Big fan of Taylor Swift,
Cheers.
isn't he?
maybe actually. The question is, original music isn't catching on. What should I do next? Hey friends.
Would you
Hey
class
Tim.
oh, sorry.
That's alright, so what are you going to say?
Original music isn't catching on, surely isn't like most songs original. Like, is this in regards to like
His own
local-
songs.
I think it's just this, original music. Like I think it's just like,
I was gonna say like, how is there any new songs?
but so it's his own songs. Original
Original
music.
music's not catching on. You ever heard of Miley Cyrus? It's just DNR reads.
Anyway, it starts. Hey friends. Hey Taylord.
I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend, guy.
Not your guy, buddy.
So, I'm a bedroom musician who's been doing the solo thing about 5 years now. I've self-released 3 full albums and 13 music videos. I live in Las Cruces, New Mexico, and gig around town at various bars and restaurants. I try to keep consistent with posting content, but I feel it's just not getting anywhere. You and me both. Maybe the truth is that my originals aren't very good. I do love music and really want a career in the world of music, but I'm open to shifting gears to find something else I'm better at. Starting a gear / playing YouTube channel, playing guitar for an established artist, working at an indie label, etc. Deaf, not looking for a pity party here. Just curious how people landed in their musical. Just curious how people landed in their musical gigs that might not have been what they originally set out to be. Just wanted to hear about fellow artists who started out trying to make it off their own stuff but ended up changing gears into a different avenue in the world of music and how that has worked out for you. Appreciate your time.
You can do what we do and start a podcast.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
I think, like with that though, it's like if obviously you want to do that, it is very unlikely to actually like blow up or something.
Nice
Yeah,
inspirational.
that's
To do it, but like it's definitely not going to happen if you don't continue to try.
Yeah,
like
that's
obviously,
it, yeah.
like it's covering your bases with like doing other stuff, maybe like session musician and stuff like that. Like that's definitely a good thing. Also,
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm speaking from like not very much experience, but like obviously, like if he's definitely not going to get anywhere if you don't continue to do
Yeah.
it.
You have to
Yeah.
be confident in what you're
Exactly,
doing.
yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Well, I've got a little bit of Adam Law here. I started out as like a punk and a rock drummer,
Ah, nice.
and that just wasn't captain. There's not a huge market for punk, pop punk, hard rock music.
Sorry, James.
I've changed to folk rock now.
Oh, yeah,
so
There wasn't when I started.
yeah, it is
That's
now,
all.
isn't it? It's blew up.
grown now.
Yeah, that's you're
But-
absolutely right.
Switching my style to more indie stuff, softer rock, that sort of stuff, rather than going hard into the punk, really helped me to where I am now. Like we're in an indie rock band, so changing your style to fit whatever is pop, something that you like. Obviously, I wouldn't say switch to like pop music.
Yeah,
you don't want to go into like auto-tune pop music if that's not your thing. Obviously, if it's your thing, go for it.
Honestly, if you start off as like a certain genre and you move to another, you're giving new perspective to that.
Exactly.
You're giving new sound.
You learn new things that you can ingrain into the original genre.
Absolutely.
I think it's one of them where like it's great to be versatile, especially with
I think
music.
especially with like music, you would have to be
exactly. So if say like he's doing, I can't remember if he said a specific like genre, but say rock for example, and if it's not working for him, maybe try and play a different genre of music. Like try a couple. Say there might be one that he prefers, there might be one that the people like, or the places that he gigs at that they prefer. Gauge on what like the audience's like reactions are, and then especially if you're enjoying it as well, you might find one you enjoy a lot more, and the more you enjoy it, the more other people will enjoy it as well.
Oh yeah, if you're not enjoying your own stuff, then how can you expect other people?
But
with the music scene as well, I feel like you kind of rely too much on it because it's so volatile, and like the money stream, like if you're doing it for money, then you're doing it for the wrong reason. Music should be a passion thing. Like all of us have like other jobs, you know, we're not just relying on this band, you know what I mean? It's something that we do out of passion, you know. I'm not bothered about making any money from any of this.
Which I always say it's a big problem in music, ironically, because you've got to do it a full-time thing to get famous and get big. Not necessarily famous, but get big, and the only people who have that ability are people with mummies and daddies who can pay for
definitely.
So you see every single, not every single, but majority of artists who are kind of out there doing their own stuff, it's because they've paid for it themselves. They don't need another full-time job. They can just concentrate on the band. And they're allowed, and it's no hate to them at all. I mean, if I was in that opportunity, if I had that opportunity, I'd do that as well.
But I think going back to like the versatility thing, like, if you look at some of the biggest people around now, and even in the last 60 years, like the Beatles, their paradigm shift from going to like the whole Teddy Boy singing, even like someone like Tyler the Creator, like his first stuff was such hard hip hop, and now it's like all melodic on different synths and stuff. So I think like with versatility, you've just got to have it really.
You've got to be able to adapt to what
people want.
What people want, but also what you enjoy. You've got to sort of find the centre of that Venn diagram.
Find what one you want.
Definitely. Yeah.
Did he even say he'd been doing it for 5 years as well? Probably
Five
best to get like an outside perspective on it as well. If you're not getting enough people other than yourself listening to it, you're just going to constantly repeat the same mistakes that you've made. Whereas even if it's like you collab with another artist just on one song, it can either teach you so much, or they can point out where you're like just monotonous with the same things over and over, and release something fresh.
I think as well he's a little bit optimistic with his goals, because he's like, he mentions about going to like, do I just change it and just be like play a guitar for like an established artist? So as if you can go, by the way, as if that's like a thing you do. Like it's like it doesn't work like that. I mean, he's always like, well, should I just work in a studio? It's like, do you think you can't
just decide?
Walk in, give them your CV.
Welcome to my gig. This guy's got music.
I do music. Let me work in your fantastic Abbey Road studio. It's like
such a wide scope as well, because like there's, you know, you got to think outside the box no matter what with music. Like think you could you know, you don't just have to work in a for a label or a record studio. There's surrounding stuff you can do. You can fix up guitars. You know, you can start like an agency. Don't just think within, you know, there's plenty of stuff you do regarding music without you actually being the one making it.
It's definitely an experience, because if you just do like rock, like it would become like with being in an agency, like you obviously get so many different musicians there, and you'll
become like a tutor or something. You know,
obviously take it into account if you're doing it for long enough. You know what I mean? So it's like
So to summarise, give up.
Do it for passion, not for money.
Yes,
passion.
Absolutely. Just keep at it, and if you like your stuff, great. You just
music's just like a cesspit that you throw your money into. You just throw all your money and you don't expect anything back. And if you get some change to get you a few pints at night, then great.
It's the worst addiction.
It is the most expensive.
At the end of the day, it's just really good crap. You know what I mean? Same people cheer for you.
Exactly that. Right, so Taylord 321 or whatever the fuck you were called.
Give up your music and we'll see you in part 3.
Yeah,
We love you. We do love you. Though.
Don't
see you in a bit. Yeah. See you in a bit.
Good little.
That was fun. I enjoyed that. Hang on, let's get Dan back on.
We're back, baby!
Welcome back.
Can you guys hear that without the headset?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's in the background. It's like it's in another room.
Yeah. So yeah, going back to what we said in part 1, when we did Ship ISIS.
What a great gig.
It was
What a
fantastic.
great.
You guys weren't the headline, but you basically sold the venue out.
Yeah.
What's your strategy for selling tickets? How
James's
do you promote?
family.
No.
That helps, doesn't it?
Have you got any new musicians listening and you had to give them advice to sell tickets?
It's honestly, it's there's a lot that goes into it. I'm the main ticket pusher. Every person I meet, some way or another,
Gets them to come to the gigs.
Yeah, because I'm a hyper-social person anyway. I'm always with people. And I feel like you always need someone like that in the band, you know, who can just keep on getting it. Who can keep getting new people coming, because you don't just want the same people each time. Exactly. So there's multiple ways to do it. First of all, you need to go and socialise. If you're staying in your room doing nothing, you're not going to have any, because social media, it's hard getting people to come to your gigs.
It's good, but you've got to really target the right people to interact with it.
Social media really just gets people who already like you, reminds them about the gigs. You're not really going to get brand new people just off putting a post out, because people are busy and people don't want to spend money either. You know, you have to go and do that yourself. You have to go. Another great way is going to other gigs, because you've got like-minded people there. Going to gigs, interacting with people, socialising. All that,
networking, isn't it? That's the official word. That's all networking is.
Imagine it's like your business. You know, we don't think of it like that, but it is in a way.
There is a business aspect to it.
Definitely, yeah.
It's harder for people to say no face to face as well, to be fair.
That's it. It's easy to go. I'll think about it. But text or
just quickly buy the ticket, man. Just buy it while I'm here.
You're so operator. Tap 5.
You'll find that a lot of people will say they're coming to a gig and say they'll get a ticket and don't. And you've just got to accept that. And you've also got to accept that you need to keep reminding people, because you might tell someone 2 weeks away from a gig and go, do you want to come to this gig? And they'll go, I love it. If you don't remind them, they'll just forget about it.
To be fair, I legitimately am like that.
I'd
want to go to the gig, and then it'll happen. And go, shit, I wanted to get into that. That's completely
especially with other musicians as well. To be fair, because obviously they've got the stuff going on, they're on gigs to think about as well. So it's especially if you get them, if you ask someone in person and then they see you on social media, it's I'll remember that and go to that.
Well, it's like, because I do marketing as a job, and they say that you've got to warm people up to something. You know what I mean? The more they see your name about, the more likely they are to come to your gig or to buy some merch or to listen to your single. You know, if you know, they might just have to see you a few times, even your name on a poster or on social media, and then maybe the 7th time they've seen your name, they might think, why am I saying this? Why am I saying this name so much? I'll go and check it out.
It could be like a subliminal thing.
Well, it is. McDonald's do it.
Exactly.
Every big brand does it. You know.
It's like the colour red. The colour red is so ingrained with Coca-Cola. It's just you think of it when you say it.
But they literally change the colour of Santa Claus.
I think as well, our next step would be gigs outside Sunderland. That's our
We've only had one so far.
We've had way more. Hundreds.
How long have you been going?
We've played across the globe.
No.
We do feel like we've played every venue in Sunderland, which you know, a lot of people tell us to stop playing so many gigs in Sunderland. But
it's a good circuit.
No, but when you love gigging, I'd rather gig the same. I just like playing live. We all just love playing live. We've had Newcastle gigs, we've had Teesside gigs. We've actually got one in Manchester coming up. Adam, I think you know, April 14th. I always forget. April
Is that like a headline show or something?
We're supporting because we did a band swap at our headline at Indie, which went amazing by the way. Yeah, we did a band swap. So they for a Manchester band came down and supported us.
Cool.
The Stride.
And
that one's for free. The Stride. So we've mentioned you.
Yeah, they supported us, and then we're going to Manchester to support them as well. Yeah.
That's the way people should do it.
We'd love to do more things like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because the problem you find when you message venues outside your city, they sort of know that you're not really going to bring many people, because how many people are willing to travel to Manchester to see a local band? So you have to, instead of messaging the venues, message a band that's about your size there, and say, look, we want to play. Could you secure a gig in your area? We'll secure one in ours. We'll essentially swap.
Clever idea.
It's a transactional thing, then, isn't it?
It's like an exposure trade, really.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah,
that's a really good idea.
Yeah, it's actually, I'm going to use that actually. This is why we do the podcast.
It is,
James only takes 50% and all.
I'm great.
Another thing we've done as well is we've done like a few partnership things with Independent. When we did our headline, we were doing giveaways for tickets.
Yeah.
So we'll partner with them. It was like the ultimate Neolectrics night out. But it was free drink, free entry, free ticket.
Yeah.
So we're doing a giveaway. You have to like our post, follow us on social media,
share stuff like that.
Yeah. So things like that to get people sharing your page, people sharing your name.
Thinking outside the box. You kind of just put a post out. We've said it before.
Next as well, with James mainly with the main one with this, we want like merch, but like merch outside of us, it looks good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just
wear it on the
shirt. It's got the name on, but they wear the shirt because it looks cool.
It like covers all bases.
Because I like the idea of merch being able to stand on its own. You might not care at all about our band or about our music, but you might like
the design.
You want to cover all angles.
I know it's different, but a lot of people have Nirvana t-shirts and have never listened to Nirvana.
Name 3 songs.
With like Pink Floyd's album covers, they're really aesthetically pleasing. That you put on the merch. It's like
Well, they got thing by the Woke Police, didn't they? Because it was like they did a 50-year anniversary, and people couldn't believe Pink Floyd were pro LGBT. I was like Facebook comments getting, I can't believe they've gone woke. It's like
you stole the pride flag.
It's like flip headache, man.
What's the best gig you guys have played then?
We need a bit of preparation for a question like that.
The Peacock one where we're all like really like there might not have been the most people there, but like we were all really like pumped, pumped for the gig.
I thought you were going to say really drunk there. I was like,
we don't care if there's one person in the crowd.
Essentially, that gig. We got invited along to do it.
It was one of my friends that I used to work with. He was doing like an album launch type thing, and he'd invited us like to perform essentially. And we were the last on, or were like around then anyway. We were
like the back end of the show.
He didn't say that it was all musical theatre people, so we were like completely different.
In all fairness, he did boot us because we were different.
That was the point, and obviously
it was so divisive. There was people singing The Greatest Showman.
They were really like unhappy with us at one point.
They were like we brought a crowd, and our crowd was loud. We were told to be quiet.
It's a live music.
People were like applauding the musical.
There was a woman who really didn't like James.
She didn't
like me at all.
That made it good though. It was
Sorry,
funny.
we didn't like her.
It was like a battle, wasn't it?
The point of all that was because the person who booked the gig and eventually really didn't like me. And the people we brought, because obviously we're all very loud because we make loud music. Because she was so like spiteful about it.
She was so
it sort of made
spurred
us all.
You on.
One of the best gigs we've done.
I think we were stood outside before we were going on, and we were like, we have to put on a fucking
we have to make it like
not only that, right? I'm the one who just I was speaking on the mic. I was banned. They would not let me speak on the mic because they knew I would have said something.
Literally, yeah.
You know, they knew it.
Even the couple words you said, you were pretty short, really.
You were getting called the naughty kids in the corner and that. Like, it was.
She was passionate. Said I would do it incorrectly on purpose.
That was the worst thing ever. Like, what was
so
it?
But it made it funny for everyone because obviously the crowd that we brought, they're all like us. They know what we're like.
Yeah.
They
went
get the
crazy.
crowd, and
everyone
kind of like joined in with it. They hyped us up for it, so it just.
It was mad though.
It made it so much better.
Our crowd was loving it, and then like the crowd, like the crowd, they literally all sat down, even though everybody else sat down.
We felt bad.
It's just like when you be petty with a live gig, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that was when we were called Electric at the time because.
Believe that.
Yeah, no,
You changed it briefly to.
No, yeah, we're essentially little story time for everyone. You know, we used to be called Electric. And then one day we checked Spotify and our song was gone. You know, Get What I Want. We had to re-release it.
Oh no.
It was removed.
Is it the same song or do you have to?
It's the same song.
You just upload it.
And we thought, what's wrong here? And then we checked and cut a long story short. We had an email off an American lawyer.
Cunt!
That's the one. That's the way to use it.
I've been holding it
Yeah.
So yeah, that guy. Actually, it was
Call
a
it
lady.
Mr. C from now on.
Yeah, it was a lady. Basically, it was a cease and desist, saying because there's an American Electric, and they're like a function. They do
it's like
orchestra. They've done stuff for Morgan Freeman and that. Like it's like a function.
Oh, so it's like the mean business.
They do
kind of
orchestral covers of like popular songs.
Which
they do a lot of,
which by the way, we have more monthly.
Yeah, they had like no listeners.
Just put that.
It's not a competition.
It is. It's not a competition, but we'll win.
We're on the complete opposite side of the globe, and you're really sending this. This is not.
It's just silly, innit?
But it was.
With £2.04 revenue.
It was actually devastating at the time.
It was really stressful because obviously we had like gigs coming up in that name, and it was like you can't do anything in relation to that name. Anything you've put out, it needs removing. Like we were all just like, what we're gonna do?
We got really tight. Like we had to really nail it.
The thing is, I mean,
fair with the new one, Neolectrics, I think it's pretty good because Neo.
I like your name.
We wanted to like stay with the sort of like the brand of it.
It's
Like
because of the design that we had and everything. Though it was all ingrained with like the lightning bolts.
Yeah,
I didn't want us going from like Electric to something completely different. I want like still like. Have like remember like Electric, the name.
Yeah,
Maybe I just got the name wrong this entire time.
So people still call us Electric, and you sort of just have to correct people and go, do you want this lawyer to contact you?
That happened as well. Like, what was it, like a day after we bought like a stack of flyers?
Just spent £100 on Electric.
T-shirts, honestly.
You have to get like a Sharpie over.
Yeah, that guy still wants that money.
They'll be vintage now.
Yeah, we'll sell those in a few years.
Dead stock.
We'll sell them as like a deluxe item. It's like case in history.
Limited edition.
Once we're hitting net worth.
So obviously the whole new rebrand stuff. If people were to find you guys on social media, what's your social tags?
So the Neolectrics everywhere, essentially. So we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. I think those are the main ones. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube,
Deezer.
Essentially,
pretty much any music streaming site we're on.
Literally all of them.
The Neolectrics, Neolectrics.
Well done.
We'll go, there's a spelling lesson. Thank you everyone.
I'm sure James will put the thing on there anyway, won't you?
Neolectric spelling bee.
He's runs in everywhere.
Can I have it in a sentence, please?
The Neolectrics. You should listen to them.
The band formerly known as the Electrics.
Do you know when we were rebranded? I actually said that as a
The
suggestion.
band formerly known as.
Yeah, it was a bit too risky doing that. We didn't want to do that and then get it taken down again.
It's because they said you can't include Electric in any way in the new.
It was very pushy, to be fair. Like if we had money behind us,
I wonder how
because
it's just obviously know that they've you're just bullying a small.
They've been doing it for a while, but it's like if they just said please.
I might send a lawyer.
I'm sure we would have stopped if they just said please.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
I've just been polite and not sent a cease and desist. It's the first communication.
When I first read that email, my heart sank.
Yeah. At the time, I was probably under the impression that it was just going to fall through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was a really scary moment.
Well, because when you make a band or music, it
I've
becomes
never heard that in my
like
life.
a baby. It's your project, and you think that everything you've worked for is for nothing.
We were really
honestly, the amount.
Such a local band as well.
I was gonna say the amount of bands you like type in Spotify, and there's like 7 other bands with exactly the same name. It's like
It's just like
And
it seems as though they've picked it out. You know what I mean?
and I bet they don't even have any bloody things on Spotify.
They
They've got
do.
Oh, they do,
orchestral
do they?
covers, but they had like no listeners.
It's called Get What You Want.
Our
Violin acoustic version.
Our lawyers got what they wanted.
Well, I had that problem for ages because I started my first like EP was under James Berry, and there was a DJ also called James Berry.
No.
Even though I released my EP first, 2014, that got released.
Really?
The other guy released his 2017. My discography went into his account.
There's one of my friends. He's in a rap group called Fortunato, and he's got a friend called Seizure, and he's like his stage name Seizure, and he like rappers and stuff, and he uploads his stuff onto Spotify, and it gets put under somebody else's profile.
Yeah.
I think it's just an automatic thing with Spotify.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. Like, I mean, it was
That's
showing out.
ridiculous. That though, you would think that though.
I mean, he had like 20 times as 30 times as many views as me. So my album got quite good listening actually.
They always side with the bigger artists.
Of course.
They always do, which it makes sense really.
Easy
But
cop out.
yeah, it means there's less work for them.
For the amount that people get paid on Spotify, it doesn't seem as though they really care about the music itself.
There was also a James Berry in his discography. I'm sure it can't be the same person, but he released like a Christmas album. And he was like, I'm walking in the I was like, I can't be the same DJ, and that's definitely not me. I'm just like, I'm gonna put that up.
You hit them notes, to be fair.
The most annoying thing about our name change though, we got it so good.
It was so good.
I had like one session where we went to go through names, and we got it pretty much.
It was because like
Meant to be.
Electric was like violet, which is our predominant like.
We started
colours,
putting words
and
together.
electric, which is like.
But Neo,
literally
it's
how
like
you chose the
neon.
name.
You could.
Neo is like new.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Means
You know.
new.
Well, essentially, we did what we did in the beginning, so it took us ages to actually come up with a band name. Because I feel like it's one of the hardest.
It's a good
parts.
name as well.
Yeah,
Genuinely
we
just sat
had a
there and-
whiteboard in
Not
the
anymore.
bunker.
It's not a good name
No.
anymore. Terrible name.
Shit.
We had a whiteboard in the bunker, and honestly, we must have wrote down about 100 different words, and we were just like mashing them together, like going on. What is it? The band name generator.
Yeah.
Like, typing all of them,
Everyone's
shit
done
in.
it. If you say you haven't done it, you're lying.
Yeah.
And you picked the name with like the guy who had no streams, but still has the fucking biggest problem with
Literally,
it. That's
yeah.
sod's law, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's like,
it was mad. Like it was such a mad thing. Like it's like a small little band. It's just like why are we getting
Whoa.
Oh, sorry.
Medium-sized.
Global sensation.
So with you guys having one single out, I presume the other one will be out by the time this is.
Yeah, two.
What song are you going to play for us today?
Brand new day.
Brand new day.
Is this the new song?
No, because the song that
behind, though.
that'll be released by time this podcast comes out. We didn't really feel like it would feel too good being acoustic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So brand new day is already pretty emotional song. That's the one that we said earlier that we nearly cried to and all that. So yeah, we'll be playing brand new day.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for coming down.
Thank you very
we're going to
much.
hope you guys cry. And we'll get you guys set up. Thank you again, and we'll
Thank you very
see you
much.
on the next podcast.
stage.
Maybe some vendor copyrights as well.
Yeah, I'm James. This is Charlie, part of the Neolectrics. This is brand new day.
Look at the time of day. You can find it slipping away like a wave from the tide. We're all just drifting by, like stars in the big blue sky. So tell me why it has to be this way. We all want the same thing to grow. When you're young, you dream of getting old sometimes. But you don't need to wish it away. Enjoy the time you have today. The sun rises again tomorrow. Is a brand new day. Get what you deserve, no matter the twists or curves I've thrown to you along the way. So make the most of it, do with it what you will, but don't wish your life away. 'Cause we all want the same thing to grow. When you're young, you dream of getting old sometimes. But you don't need to wish it away. Enjoy the time you have today. The sun rises again and tomorrow is a brand new day. Hey, we all want the same thing to grow. When you're young, you dream of getting older sometimes. You don't need to wish it away. Enjoy the time you have today. The sun rises again tomorrow is a brand new day.
Thank you.
That's so good.
You've been listening to Off the Stage podcast. I love it. Go listen, it's fantastic.